Hello friends! Today I want to talk about sexuality. Remember, these are just my personal views based on my own experience and time in the modeling world. If you relate or like what you hear, please hit the like button and subscribe. I've met many beautiful people in real life, especially in modeling industry. I've seen Hollywood faces and perfect bodies. At first, I felt a bit jealous and it affected my confidence. But then I understood something important. Beauty isn't everything. Just being good looking isn't enough. Like I said in the previous video, being beautiful doesn't mean you will be successful in modeling. And being beautiful doesn't always mean being sexy. I enjoy attending live castings, especially the ones with the long lines. It gives me a chance to observe models and think about who might get the job. Now, instead of scrolling on my phone, I watch people admiring their natural beauty as if they were famous paintings at a museum. I've noted that those who catch the most attention have one thing in common: they are sexy. You can often see someone's sexiness just by looking at them. I once met a model, let's call her Lisa, who really stood out to me. I had to admit, I was quite attracted to her. I had mixed feeling about Lisa. Sometimes she intimidated me, but I also admired her a lot. There were moments I didn't like her, but at other times I was really impressed. Yes, she was beautiful, but it wasn't just her looks. Whenever she walked into a room, everyone just had to look at her. When Lisa went up the stairs, her energy was so palpable. It felt like lights bulb would pop in the hallway. When she spoke, everyone was all ears, hanging on her every word, regardless of what she was actually saying. At castings, she was always the pick. Every single time, even when they needed a different type, like a sweet blue-eyed blondie, they'd opt for the dark-haired, brown-eyed, slender Lisa with that razor-sharp gaze. They'd go as far as to rework the whole photoshoot concept just for her. She moved, spoke, and danced as if she didn't care about anyone in the world. Lisa didn't look for approval or needed everyone to confirm her beauty and worth. She just lived her life joyfully, never trying to fit in or stand out for the sake of others. She did as she pleased and was so radiant in the freedom of choice and confident that both men and women took notice. Moreover, no one was indifferent to her. She evoked a range of emotions. I believe she was born this way, with these unique settings. I'm confident she didn't even pay attention to it. Unfortunately, she couldn't turn off these bewitching charms. Many times, based on her stories, they played a cruel joke on her in her teenage years. Yet, when I uttered the word sexually, I see Lisa's face in my mind. Drop a comment below if you have a friend like this, or maybe you are that captivating friend. While getting ready for this video, I stumbled upon another one where psychologists talk about two concepts that seem alike but are actually quite different. I had a plan to discuss it, but I had a hard time telling them apart clearly. They are sexuality and sex appeal. Sex appeal is about outwardly showing signs of being available for a romantic encounter. To clarify, it's when individuals intentionally or not dress or act in ways that might be considered inappropriate for certain situations just to attract others. Think of an office worker wearing his too short skirt and a blue that's too open. Or maybe a nurse whose outfit might be seen as too revealing for the professional setting. I bet you can imagine more examples like this. It's an intentional shows of one's physical features. This can also include surgical enhancements to fit certain beauty standards. For example, unnaturally large breasts or buttocks on the thin frame. In my view, sex appeal leans more towards being tacky than truly sexy. It's like a person is signaling through their looks that they are available. Consider the style of adult movies from the 90s for a clearer picture. Psychologically, it might indicate a person's discomfort with their own body or even their true self. Some people genuinely feel happy after fixing perceived imperfections. It boosts their confidence, making social interactions easier without the constant worry of being judged for a certain physical attribute like a prominent nose or yellow teeth. In these cases, surgery can be positive. I want to clarify, I'm not conservative about bodies. I appreciate seeing beautiful forms. I personally don't wear bras daily, and I don't judge women who flaunt what they have. I too enjoy the art and beauty of the female form. I'm comfortable with my body, even if I've gained some weight and it isn't ideal now. I oppose both extreme obsession with the body and feeling embarrassed about it. With the 8 billion of us here, half have certain common features like breasts and genitals. That's nothing crude about the natural beauty and human anatomy. In fashion, models learn to be more at ease with their bodies, but also to respect themselves and others. Behind fashion shows, certain models of all genders often hurry about in minimal clothing, yet there is no sexual tension. Also, I once posed for a Playboy cover. That issue wasn't published, but I believe those photos might surface someday. It was a choice I made during a high point in my career. For a young model, starting with the adult magazines might pigeonhole them into being seen only for their nudity. Now let's talk about sexuality. Sexuality is about deeply accepting yourself, both in personality and appearance, and confidently displaying that acceptance to the world. It's closely linked with the self-confidence and shows itself not just in romantic relationships, but in any forms of human interaction. It's that magnetic pull someone has driven by their energy and charisma. Sexuality is not about a facade, it exposes the soul, not the body. Thanks to sexuality, a woman genuinely enchants. She makes others admire and marvel at her. And only after that does physical attraction come into play. Being sexual doesn't mean sleeping with everyone you meet or wearing a plunging neckline. Although for some women this might be a natural expression. Think about Samantha from Sex and the City. She didn't care about public opinion. A truly sexual woman doesn't change herself to please society or float trends. Sexuality lies is understanding and accepting one's positive traits and, most importantly, one's flaws. I'm sure you've noticed a handsome man holding hands with a seemingly unattractive woman. That's a first glance, but if you look closer, you will see that the woman is much more intriguing personality. If a woman is confident and exudes sexuality, regardless of her measurements or external attributes, she will be appealing to those around her. And this is a theorem proven by hundreds of psychologists. In contrast, consider a stunningly beautiful girl with set eyes revealing she hasn't had intimacy in 6 months and it doesn't seem to be on the horizon. It's all about the sexual energy. Those who were restricted by their mothers and grandmothers in their adolescence from expressing their external sexuality and interacting with boys, being frightened with the tales of a homeless person, assaulting them in dark alleys, often face challenges in their adult lives. Such women frequently struggle to fully embrace their sexuality. They might view their nudity and even sex itself as something shameful, based on unworthy of a decent person. The concept of an orgasm might be something they've only ever heard about once from a friend. In such cases, extensive one's sexual energy often requires sessions with a psychologist or sexologist. Sexuality is important for women beyond just romantic contests. It plays a role in education, career, and even friendships. I trust my audience understands the significance of women's sexuality in life and how it can help navigate various situations. I'm not implying that everything should be achieved through intimate actions. Rather, I'm referring to the energy and charisma associated with the sexuality. Of course, this doesn't apply if someone identifies as asexual. Asexuality is part of the LGBTQ spectrum, denoting individuals who don't experience or desire sexual activity. It's important to recognize and respect all orientations. And now about the most important thing: how to express your sexuality. First, don't try to express sexuality through an image that is not natural to you. If you are not comfortable in a mini skirt, don't wear it. If you are unsure about walking in high heels, opt for something else. Don't reveal cleavage if you will feel self-conscious about other glances. Make things easier for yourself by being true to who you are. You can be sexy even in sack if your movements are smooth and free, and your gaze doesn't wander to the ground searching for coins. If you are completely at ease in a feminine and intentionally provocate style, then you probably could teach others about sexuality. However, this comfort level must be genuine, similar to how I feel completely natural standing in lingerie in front of the 10-person film crew. If you force this look with the aim of meeting someone or selling your skin at a higher price, then such an image will likely work against you. My most significant acquaintances, both in love and in work, were when I didn't try at all. Second, from this point, don't try too hard. When a woman goes overboard trying to be perfect, it always looks pitiable from the outside. The more effort you put in, the more meticulously you plan your look and the better you rehearse your speech before a meeting, the less chance you have of succeeding. Let things happen naturally. Being spontaneous is attractive, and things don't always go as planned. Sometimes, even after preparing for a romantic date, you might just end up watching Netflix and eating chips in bed. People will appreciate your sincerity. A fake image of a femme fatale will only make others laugh behind your back at the moment you step away to touch up your makeup. Don't treat others as fools. They will see through you quickly. But actors aren't trusted, and people who try to pretend to be someone else in life aren't likable. This also goes for overdoing makeup. Once I arrived at the beach model party in a modest swimsuit, no makeup, with 2 braids when I had them. while all other models were all decked out. I tried to blend in. Guess who got the most attention? Sexuality is individual and comes from the natural expression of oneself. Don't be afraid of imperfection. Perfection simply doesn't exist. People fall in love with those who are unique, not perfect. About makeup, psychologists think that men often look for specific facial features in women that seem familiar to them. Heavy makeup like bold eyeshadows, eyeliners, and strong contouring can hide these features. Here's a little secret. After photo shoot, models usually take off their makeup, leaving maybe just light foundation and mascara. We models, more than anyone, know that to look more attractive and catchy, heavy makeup isn't necessary. Natural beauty wins both in casting and life. Sexuality isn't expressed through clothing and makeup. It's more about how a woman presents herself. I've often seen at castings girls in simple tees and jeans look sexier than those in short skirts and tight tops showing off their bust. And accordingly, they get chosen. Sexuality is more about the freedom and fluidity of movement and confidence in one's attractiveness. 3. Do what you like and don't do what you don't like. Excuse my cliché. This also includes the ability to say no. If you feel like dancing when no one is on the dance floor yet, don't hesitate to express yourself. You might think people will judge you, but in reality, they will respect and envy your confidence. Sexuality lies in honest choices. I always sing when I'm riding my bike, in genuinely making me happy in that moment. My husband usually follows behind and sneaks glances at my reaction in the mirrors. He recently told me that he feels joy when I sing. Act as if you are alone with yourself. Only those who can't enjoy life will judge you. There are many practices that help you relax. For me, the famous 4-7-8 breathing techniques work wonders. You can read about it online. At casting, I practice my own methods to overcome anxiety. I imagine that I'm the casting director myself and force myself to think about whatever I like these people and if I want to work with them. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it helps. No, I don't consider myself above them. I actually try to put myself on their level, so they can see me as an equal and understand that they are not doing me a favor by giving me a job. Rather, my work makes their show or shoot more successful. This approach might also help during job interviews and even when meeting potential partners. 5. Embrace the feeling of ecstasy. In simpler terms, get aroused. I genuinely get aroused when I walk down the runway. Seriously. I used to dash across it like a shy deer, but now I savor the moment. I think about how all eyes are on me, how at least half of them want me, including women, gay men, and the tiny dogs in the glamorous girls' arms. I'm not even worried about tripping or falling, because if that happens, they will remember me even more. Your arousal, or if you like joy, is always felt by those around you. Share that energy with everyone. Live in the moment. Delight in the beauty of people, nature, music, clothing, everything wonderful. enjoy and get excited by your reflection in the mirror. Yes, with the low self-esteem it's challenging, but who said it was going to be easy? 6. Making eye contact is more than just a polite gesture. It's a bridge between souls and an honest invitation to understand and be understood. During negotiation, at auditions, even during intimacy, your gaze can speak louder than words. It whispers, "I'm not afraid. I know my worth. We are here together as equals." Eyes are often called the windows to the soul, but they also show out confidence and feelings. Looking someone in the eyes means you are real and present. It's about being yourself, showing your strengths and weaknesses. So, wherever you are or wherever you are doing, remember the power of your eyes. 7. Stand up straight. Posture is probably one of the most expected points here, and not without reason, because posture not only affects a person's physical health, but also their psychological state. When you stand tall, your body assumes as openly spatial position, which, proven in studies, can increase testosterone levels and decrease cortisol levels in your body. This can make you feel more confident and less tense. Physical posture impacts your mental state. Standing tall can make you feel grounded, like you have support and balance. This can enhance feelings of stability and self-assurance. People who stand up straight are often perceived by others as more confident and authoritative. When others see you in a positive light, it boosts your confidence, and confidence often goes hand in hand with sexuality. Imagine a world where you stand at the center of the universe, where your pleasure, your desires, your emotions are paramount. This isn't selfishness, isn't confident in your right to be happy. Thought, why I'm afraid of this word? Be selfish for a while. In life and intimacy, you should be the main protagonist of your story. Forget that others think of you. That should matter is what you think of them. Unleash your inner sociopath, and of course in the best sense of the word. If you have ever met such people, you know their secret. They are confident in their external and internal attractiveness. They are not afraid to take the initiative when meeting someone. They fear nothing and are unembarrassed. They also don't put themselves down. They radiant charm and sincerity. You won't find them being fake. Sexuality is not about long hair. Believe the models without hair. Sexuality is not in a large breast size or small nipples. It's not in a perfect body proportions or full lips. Sexuality is a kind of radiance. It's a spark in the eyes, self-confidence, genuine emotions, and the courage to be yourself. It's about sending away someone you dislike and honesty, admitting your affection to someone you like. And yes, you can develop sexuality within yourself. It's probably easier than learning a new language. Give a like to this video to motivate me to continue filming, and comment on what you agree with and what you don't.